Good day, everyone. My name is Michael Frentiades. I'm the Chief Economist here at xm.com, and this is your European Open briefing for Monday, March 20th. What are the key points? Well, it's mainly about the US dollar, again under pressure as we have relative Fed dovishness and some of the Trump's policies taking a bit of a toll on the greenback. We have the Dutch elections continuing to help the euro. Positive Dutch elections last year. French elections are concerned, but Marine Le Pen remains the underdog at the end of the fight. The G20 meeting, they agree on foreign exchange, but they differ on trade. We also had economic calendar that is quiet. Japan was on holiday, so Asian session was relatively quiet. We have some central bank speakers, such as Andy Haldane, Bank of England chief economist, and Charles Evans of the Chicago Fed, speaking later today. Now, the US dollar index is holding on to the 100 level, just barely. We had the Fed's relative caution about signaling future rate hikes weighing on the currency, so the Fed signaling just 2 more hikes this year, potentially. Some were hoping for 3 maybe. In addition, we had Trump's fiscal measures unveiled the previous week. They are not expected to do much to boost the US economy at this stage. They were more about cutting spending, except military spending, which is going up. Infrastructure spending, for example, will drop rather than rise, as the Department of that deals with infrastructure is going to receive a budget cut. So it will be interesting how to pair that with more infrastructure spending. Still, I would say many are unwilling to sell the US dollar, as alternatives are not easy to find. The US dollar also yielding around 1% short-term interest rate, whereas the euro, the yen, and the pound are either 0 or sub-zero interest rates. Still, the euro is at a near 1.5-month high against the US dollar. We have the coattails of the Wednesday's Dutch elections. The Populist Freedom Party failed to win. The French elections are a very key concern for the markets. But the polls, they are showing the far-right leader, Marine Le Pen, doing very well in the first round, but losing steam in the second round and losing the election ultimately. Now, of course, the market's trust in polls is not so high after the Trump and Brexit victories previous year. So it still remains a cause for concern what is going to happen in France. And we have the TV debate of French presidential candidates tonight, which will be interesting. I would also note that the euro has not traded sustainably above 1.08 against the dollar since the US elections in early November 2016. So 1.08, I think, is a very key level, and it will be interesting to see whether the euro can overcome this level and head even higher. Now, the dollar yen is at a 3-week low as it has broken below 113. I think the very key area to watch there is 111.5 to 112. The G20 finance ministers meeting in Germany, they agreed on Forex, no competitive devaluations, but they deleted the reference against protectionism in their joint communique. The US was against such a reference. It was hard to agree on what constitutes protectionism, reportedly, and also they raised a reference against climate change. Now, US protectionism could be a challenge for the global economy going forward, but foreign exchange market stability is still a G20 goal, and this is a market positive. In the oil market, we had oil falling further down to around $48.4 per barrel. We had the new rise in Baker Hughes rig count. They were up by 21 rigs to 789, if I am not mistaken. This is seen boosting the supply from the US, which could prevent the rebalancing of the global oil market. You remember that the OPEC deal was supposed to cut supply, and the oil market, it would reduce inventories and the oil market glut. Well, it seems that OPEC, in terms of the price, is back to where it started, because the expectation of higher prices has tempted many US producers to increase production or to go back into production. So that is definitely a challenge. Things not so dramatic still for oil, because okay, West Texas Intermediate, which we have in this chart, remains below 50, but the more internationally traded Brent crude is over $50 a barrel right now. There is very little in the way of economic data today. German producer prices, Eurozone wages, US National Activity Index, Canadian wholesale trade, not very important. All these indicators with respect to market moving events. We had the holiday in Japan earlier, and we have, of course, Bank of England Chief Economist Andy Haldane speaking, as well as RBA Assistant Governor Lucy Ellis and the Federal Bank of Chicago President Charles Evans. So many Fed speakers are going to speak this week, starting with Evans today. Yellen herself is going to speak on Thursday, and many others are speaking. So all these people are going to get a chance to fine-tune the Fed message from the previous week. Some dollar bulls are hoping that the message will be a bit more hawkish than than the previous week's statement. So that remains to be seen what we'll get, but there is this chance of moves, as the Fed speakers are going to either agree or give some extra guidance to the market in terms of what is happening with interest rates. That's all for today. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.